Karna's charity. Once upon a time, there lived a king called Dhritarashtra who ruled over Hastinapura. He had a vast empire and 100 sons. His eldest son's name was Duryodhana. Duryodhana had a friend called Karna, who was the king of a small kingdom called Angadesha. Karna was very kind hearted and charitable. Anybody's request for help was sure to get fulfilled. For Karna never said no to anyone. He started his day with the distribution of money, cattle, land, and other things to people. Every day, a long queue of needy people could be seen in front of his palace even before dawn, greeting all getting all that they needed. They would return from the palace loudly praising Karna's charitable nature. Duryodhana's palace was nearby, so the lavish praise bestowed on Karna reached his ears every day. He began to grow increasingly jealous. He thought, after all, Karna is a petty king with small riches at his disposal. I'm far richer than he is, and I can give much more than he can give. So I should become more famous than him. Resolving thus, he started to give a lot of charity to the poor. Soon he became famous, and people began to praise him too. But he was not satisfied because Karna was still held in greater esteem than he was. Indra, the king of the Devas, knew what was passing through Duryodhana's mind and decided to teach him a lesson. He came down to earth disguised as a poor Brahmin and went to Duryodhana's court. Pompously, Duryodhana asked, "O Brahmin, what help do you want of me? Ask for anything, please. I am at your service to give you whatever you want. Do not hesitate, even if it's a big thing, for I can afford to give you anything that you may need." Laughing inwardly at the pompous words, the Brahmin replied, "Prince, I do not need much. I am going to perform a yajna shortly, for which I require a lot of fuel. Please give me enough fuel for this purpose. That will be enough for me." Duryodhana laughed aloud and said, "O poor Brahmin, what can I say of your luck? You come to a great prince and ask only for fuel. Let it be so. This is all your good luck. Take as much fuel as you please." The Brahmin appeared very pleased and praised Duryodhana gratefully. He said, "O charitable prince, my yajna will start in 10 days. I will come and take the fuel on that day, for I do not have a place to store the fuel." Duryodhana agreed and the Brahmin left. Now Indra was not only the king of the Devas, he had supremacy over the clouds and rains also. He could at will order the rains to pour down. He ordered that there should be an incessant heavy downpour of rain for the next 10 days. The rains came down heavily in torrents without a single minute's respite for all of the 10 days. The tanks and wells were filled, rivers flowed in spate, and all over the earth there was a white sheet of water. Everything was drenched, and not a single thing remained dry. 10 days passed. The rains came to a stop suddenly, and the smiling sun rose as usual, brightening the gloomy atmosphere of the past 10 days. Indra disguised himself again as the poor Brahmin and came to Duryodhana early in the morning. He said, "Prince, my yajna will start today. Please give me the promised fuel." Duryodhana stared at the Brahmin in dismay. Not that he did not want to give fuel, but he was helpless at that particular time because there was no dry fuel available anywhere. With an apologetic look, he said, "Please excuse me, Brahmin, because of these terrible rains, all the fuel is drenched. Not a piece of dry wood is available now. Please postpone your yajna for some days. As soon as the fuel is dry, I will give you as much as you need. The Brahmin looked very disappointed. With a rueful face, he exclaimed, "Oh Duryodhana, is this how great people keep their word? Did you not promise to give me the fuel this day? How can I postpone the yajna to another day? It can be performed only on auspicious days. Today is the best suited for the yajna. You must fulfill your promise." Duryodhana was annoyed. He was feeling guilty within, but he did not want to concede that he was in the wrong. The Brahmin's insistence made matters worse. Losing his temper, he said, "Are you mad? How do you expect me to fulfill a promise under these conditions? Go away from here if you can't listen to reason." The Brahmin made a wry face and cried out, "Mad indeed! A pious Brahmin wishing to perform a yajna appears to you as mad. Of course, I must have been mad to have come to you with my request instead of going to Karna. He would never have broken a promise like you. Anyway, no harm is done. Even now I can go to him and ask for the fuel. I'm sure to get it from him." So saying, the Brahmin immediately left Duryodhana's palace and went to Karna. Duryodhana was very chagrined to think that the Brahmin thought better of Karna than of him. But he consoled himself, thinking that even Karna wouldn't be able to procure dry fuel. He would have to say no to the Brahmin. Then the Brahmin, of course, would be similarly angry with Karna and curse him too. As he was thus thinking hopefully, the Brahmin went and stood before Karna. Karna made obeisance to him and asked, "O best of Brahmins, how can I serve you?" The Brahmin blessed him and said, "O Karna, I need fuel for performing a yajna today. Please give me sufficient fuel." Karna grew thoughtful. Surely there must be some way to get what the Brahmin needed. A yajna was an auspicious sacrifice which couldn't be postponed. Thinking hard, he raised his head and his glance fell on the rafters and beams supporting the roof. These at least were dry enough. In a flash it occurred to him how to provide the dry fuel. He called his servants and ordered them to break down one of the buildings in the palace compound and carefully gather the beams, rafters, and the wooden portion of the roof. He got all of it loaded onto the carts. Soon there was enough wood for the yajna. Then the load was carefully covered with animal skins so that it wouldn't get wet on the way. Happy that he was able to provide what the Brahmin needed, he came up to the Brahmin and said, "Good sir, your fuel is ready. Please instruct the men where to take it." Filled with great joy and admiration, the Brahmin blessed him and left, loudly singing Karna's praises. As he passed Duryodhana's palace, Duryodhana eagerly came out to see how Karna had fared. When he heard the Brahmin's praises, he was filled with surprise and could not believe his ears. He was very eager to know where Karna had got the dry fuel. So, swallowing his pride, he asked the Brahmin how Karna had procured the fuel. The Brahmin told him how Karna had got one of his buildings pulled down and given him sufficient fuel for the yajna. He then raised a corner of the skins on the carts and showed him the rafters and beams. Duryodhana realized how truly charitable Karna was and how mean he was in being jealous of Karna. He learned that true charity lay not in riches but in a heart that has love, compassion, and sympathy for all fellow beings. From that moment, he gave up being jealous of Karna and started loving him like a true friend.